Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So week 1 of MCOC Open Battlegrounds tournament has finished yet again. Huge thank you to Evizone for sponsoring and making this tournament possible. We have 128 players going up against each other in week 1, and we selected a few highlight matches. We're gonna keep doing this for each week, as well as do a specific match showcases randomly selected throughout the contest, and obviously all the content creators that have entered the tournament from this point forward are also free to stream their matches and create whatever content they please. If they want to have access to any additional gameplay footage sent by their opponents, they can also get that done. But let's get to it. We had some very interesting matches, and I previewed this video slightly beforehand, and I actually got to learn some things for myself, some things that I did not know myself, and where better to start than with one of Fintech's fights. So obviously Fintech is a very skilled summoner, a teammate of mine, a battle group mate of mine, and he's always very scary to fight against. I believe that he would be one of my personal kind of guesses on the favorites in the tournament. I'd say he's likely one of the 10 most likely players to take home the grand prize of $800 for the first spot. He's using Mr. Fantastic against Ebony Maw, and obviously Ebony Maw is always very dangerous and annoying champion to go up against. But Mr. Fantastic is perfectly well equipped to deal with the guy. Now here we can see that he already has gotten to his level 2 without actually baiting a special attack from Ebony Maw, which might be quite a wise idea in this case, and he does have to start thinking about it at this point, however, because he's closing into 3 bars of power. Perfect. He dexes Ebony Maw level 2. Ebony Maw level 2 is a bit tricky to dex, so here he goes ahead and knocks him down with a level 1 and lets Ebony Maw use his level 1. But his kind of like mission goal still has not finished, because he still wants to get to a level 2 of his own. Also needs to keep an eye on obviously the falter timer that never really occurred, and that was a very solid fight. Now again, as with many Mr. Fantastic fights, not necessarily the quickest, but he finished with 97.9% health, 50k score, and that's quite solid. And there his Warlock seemingly held in on the defense long enough for Finn to take the W. And this is going to be an interesting fight as well, because I'll be absolutely honest, I don't have much experience fighting Galan at all. Why? Because you see a Galan, you ban a Galan. Otherwise, you're just asking for it. Because Galan is a great defender, and he's a great champion on attack as well. But here we can see one of the circumstances how you can deal with Galans on defense if you have to, and that is going to be by using Ghost and presumably nuking him down before anything bad ever happens. So here he's trying to phase as many hits as possible to gain power as quickly as possible, so Ghost being Ghost reaches level 2 before Galan even gets to his level 1. Now he just needs to get in a special intercept, and that first drop here leaves him at 39% health. Galan activates his first level 1, and that is just okay, because that only gives him 40 planetary mass, and that's not like the biggest problem in the world. However, second level 2 already puts him at 80, and that's kind of like the danger zone, because if he activates one more, then there's trouble. But just in time here, he goes for his second level 2, and that finishes out the fight in basically like a minute. It's 55-second fight, 93% health remaining, 52,000 points, and a W in his match. So very well played for Hassan. Now we have one of Barrowman's fights, and that is Guardian against Killmonger. And he's going up against Renee. And immediately this fight looks somewhat different, but here again we do have many different players and using many different mastery setups, and here Renee is using Liquid Courage Double Edge in his match, so that immediately makes Killmonger kind of much easier as a defender, because you can always just kind of bait out the special attacks and let the poison do its work, and it shortens the fight sizably. Obviously, any mistake that you make, and if you do get hit or if you end up taking tons of hits and block, it does feel a lot more painful. But here Barrow is using a fairly straightforward strategy of not even throwing his level 1. He just built up straight to level 2 with 3 charges. That was pretty much it. That was pretty much enough to finish off the fight in 44 seconds. And then obviously Havoc with Liquid Courage Double Edge going up against Mephisto didn't do as well, took significantly longer, and that's all she wrote. Now this fight's very interesting because Wong is kind of like a niche champion in people's Battlegrounds decks. I know a lot of people don't really know how to fight Wong yet as well, but definitely looking at this clip and a handful of other fights that I have seen, I'm kind of intrigued about Wong to try him out myself in Battlegrounds at some point as well. Because here, against any champions that gain buffs plentifully, obviously Wong, I think, can do quite well. So here he's just waiting out for glancing to end, and he drops his level 2, and that Cersei goes down to 71%. So here he's going to activate his second spell of the same sort, so he's going to do even more energy damage with his level 2. Here, unfortunately, he ends up eating a bit of that special attack that definitely kind of puts a damper on the fight. But with his second level 2, that Cersei is down to 16%, and there he goes just for a single combo, dealing extra energy damage, and he gets the dub there quite convincingly. And it obviously does help that opponent there seemingly messed up that Human Torch against Dr. Doom fight. Look at that, 0.2% remaining on Dr. Doom. Now how happy McMuffin's fight. And this was one of those fights that I had tried a couple of times, and I never did properly before. But thanks to this clip in particular, I know exactly what I did wrong. And now I kind of feel confident that I can Tiger a Doom. Well, there's no better way how to test it either than in Battlegrounds fight, and hopefully that's going to work out. So basically he's just using regular combos to trap Dr. Doom and maintain his auras, pushes Dr. Doom to level 2, and then dashes in before Dr. Doom drops the beams in his level 2, does 2 heavies, goes into a level 2, that does huge amount of damage, and then again kind of just puts the block up, pushes Dr. Doom to level 2. Not once Dr. Doom obviously activated his aura, again dashes in before the beams, drops a heavy, and it goes pretty much perfectly there. Another level, so 2 level 2s and 1 level 1, and this fight is over in 46 seconds. So that was definitely a very impressive Tiger fight. And it is something that I can't wait to test out myself. Obviously, in current meta, it would not work. But in the upcoming one, probably would. Now we have Max going up against Dab. So this is actually direct from his live stream as well. And Dab is also a player that runs Recoil 3. So that is, I suspect, what helps Dr. Doom significantly here to get that Rintra down. Because Rintra in general is never a quick or a fast fight, but here we can see that Liquid Courage Double Edge damage is really eating in the HP bar of that Rintra. And the strategy here for Dab is to basically keep knocking Rintra down and in order to make sure that Rintra doesn't go unstoppable. Here he goes for a level 2. That level 2 is also going to put in some work. No crits there as expected with Dr. Doom. Here he's just waiting for the mythical energy to expire and simultaneously trying to bait out that level 1 from Rintra. Perhaps some of you can see your avatar names there as well if you were actually watching this live. But here we can see that running Liquid Courage Double Edge, obviously, as the name of Double Edge implies, it has its upsides but definitely has its downsides. And the downside is that Liquid Courage Double Edge definitely makes several of the defenders quite easy to deal with. And here in this situation, he used his Shang-Chi against Thing, which is quite surprising because Shang-Chi isn't really the best Thing matchup. It's a fairly slow fight most of the time. And even though Max was slightly slower by 6 seconds, he'd still get the W there. So obviously there will be many more fight highlights coming and videos similar to this. Let me know what you guys think about the format and whether you guys enjoyed these fights. And currently we are in week 2 of the open tournament. That means that 64 players have been eliminated, 64 players remain in it, and there are already a ton of really exciting matchups. I have yet to do my own week 2 matches as well, so hopefully that goes fine. And yeah, do not forget to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and keep on following everything that's happening with this tournament, because after this one finishes, the next one is coming soon, but this next one is going to be with a bit of a twist. See you soon, guys. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next